Hi, hello, how are y'all doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Keely, and it's so nice to have you here. If you're wondering why we are in the car, I was planning to film today. I was gonna go home, get ready. Don't mind that I have no makeup on my face. It's fine. But I had to take my partner to an appointment, and I was like, okay, I don't know how long it's gonna take. I could drive all the way home and wait and drive all the way back, but also I don't know how long it's gonna be, so why not just wait here and make the most of this time and not drive twice and film the video while I'm here. So excuse my no makeup face, ignore my steering wheel. We're gonna just get right into it. Today, we are talking about feminism, or a lack thereof on a lot of people's parts. One thing about me is I identify as a feminist. If I don't make that abundantly clear enough on the internet, I believe in equality for women and men and women's equal opportunity to do whatever the heck they want. To me, that means whether we want to work a 9-to-5 in, a stereotypical man's industry, or if we want to be a stay-at-home mom, or anything in between, we should have both of those opportunities. It's all about the choice. It's not about women are trying to become men or anything of that sort. It's simply, we should be able to do whatever the heck we want. And I thought that in our year of 2024, that was a popular opinion. But then I got on TikTok, and I realized that that is not always the case. I found one video and started going down a rabbit hole of anti-feminist TikTokers. Not just like be here to make fun of or attack these creators, but just to genuinely bring attention to something that I think is problematic. So without further ado, let's watch the first video.
I'm not a feminist. I can see men and I don't immediately feel threatened.
I don't see men and immediately feel threatened. I'm happy for you. Truly, it makes my heart happy for you that you are able to not feel threatened. That's not the case for a lot of women who have been... Someone's parallel parking beside me. Most women don't feel threatened by every single man. Obviously, my partner is a man. I don't feel threatened by him. Lots of coworkers and friends who are men, and they're great. But when you're walking down the street at night, for example, and there's a man walking a little bit quickly behind you, it's a bit of a scary feeling, and that's valid. I don't think that we should shut down other women's lived experiences and say like, oh, just because I don't feel threatened by men, I'm like, okay, I'm happy for you that you don't feel threatened by men, that you're able to exist in that way, but don't invalidate other women's experiences where they do.
I'm not a feminist. And then people ask me if I'm actually a woman.
I don't really get what that means. She's not a feminist because people ask if she's a woman. I'm glad that we live in a society where it's become normal to ask someone's pronouns before interacting with them and not assuming. I think it's a really good thing because while lots of people do present in a way that aligns with their chosen pronouns, lots of people don't as well. And I think that not assuming is great.
I'm not a feminist. I can wear dresses and feel pretty.
I don't think that that is an anti-feminist thing either. I am a feminist and I can wear dresses and feel pretty. I love getting dressed up and looking nice. Feminism is the right to do whatever the heck you want, whether that is wearing dresses and makeup and girly things or wearing typically masculine things. I feel like there's this misconception that feminism is like the masculinization of women. I don't know if that's a word, but I feel like a lot of creators like this have that opinion that, oh, feminism means I'm supposed to become a man, which is just not, that's not it. That's not it.
I'm not a feminist. Thank you.
I also love and appreciate if someone will hold the door open for me, If someone is standing in front of me and they hold the door open for me, thank you. Yes, I'm not gonna, wait, this makes me think that she thinks like, I'm walking into a store and someone holds the door open, then I'm gonna look at them and say, don't do that. I'm a strong, independent woman and I can open my own door. Like, no. But to me, that's also just like general etiquette. I don't think that's gendered. I think it's just polite. No, hold it open for me, please. I appreciate that, but like I'll hold it open for you too. Why not?
I'm not a feminist. I don't hate children.
Nowhere in the feminist ideology does it say hates children. Feminism... Can you guys hear that? Someone's car alarm is going off? I feel like this is another misconception that feminists hate children because feminists believe in a woman's right to choose whether or not she wants to have children. That doesn't mean automatically hating children. Some people like children but don't want their own, whether that's for health reasons, financial reasons, whatever reasons. Feminists believe that you don't have to have children if you don't want to. If you want to, that's fantastic. Of course, we support that as well.
I'm not a feminist. I would watch this video and I wouldn't be offended.
good for you. I am a feminist, so I don't even want to say offended. I'm kind of just like, I'm annoyed because I don't feel like you're insulting feminists. I feel like you don't understand feminists. You're commenting on something incorrectly. Like, you have kind of a straw man argument type thing where you've like made up this image of a feminist in your head, and that's what you're attacking versus attacking what like an actual feminist is. So that's what I'm here doing, is kind of trying to deconstruct that, because you're not actually poking holes in what a true feminist believes.
I'm not a feminist. I can actually cook.
I'm glad you can cook. I'm proud of you. That's a good life skill to have. I'm a feminist and I can cook. I don't really like cooking that much, I'll be so honest. I'm kind of a lazy girl sometimes when it comes to cooking, and I don't love to do it. I do it because I have to and it's good for me. I feel like this links into like the anti-feminist like tradwife area, where it's like the stereotype of a woman should be cooking for her husband and family every night, which I don't really believe in that either. No, not really. I don't believe in that either. I think that it's good to split the household chores, and maybe if that's what works in your household where you do want to cook every night, that's fine. My partner and I, we take turns. Sometimes I cook, he cleans, sometimes he cooks and I clean. Sometimes one of us does both if the other one's busy with something else, because that's just life and how it works. Cooking is just a life skill. Please. That was all one video. That's the first video that I saw that kind of sent me down this rabbit hole. So I have a couple more videos from the same creator and then a couple from others as well. We'll see how much we get to. Okay, this next one. Okay, this makes me a little angry. Spoiler.
Do you want to stop men from harassing women in the workforce? Just ban women from the workforce. See, that's how gun control works.
She's saying that's how gun control works, which is simply not true. Okay, I get it. Yes, you want to ban gun violence, ban guns. She's saying that won't work. But I mean, realistically, if you banned women from the workforce, they would not be getting harassed in the workforce. There's a whole other slew of problems with that if you ban women from the workforce. Obviously, I don't agree with that. I'm a working woman myself. I love my job, actually, believe it or not. But it would work. If a woman's not there, she can't be catcalled. Therefore, if a gun is not easily purchasable, it's far less likely that someone is going to commit violence with that gun. Like, yes, there's still going to be the odd case. I do understand the gun control argument where they're like, oh, people who commit violent crimes with guns they're criminals. Just because it's not legal, you think they're not going to do it. I'm like, okay, I understand that. There are still going to be people who find ways to get these things illicitly and are going to commit crimes with it, but reducing ease of access is proven worldwide to work. Canada, Australia, the UK, almost every single country other than the United States that has stricter gun control also has less gun violence, because by restricting access, it's more difficult. Will it eliminate it to zero? No, I'm sure it won't, but a huge decrease is worth it. Real lives saved, children's lives saved, it's worth it. This isn't even like the peak of this video because this is supposed to be about feminism, but that's a whole, it's related. These kinds of beliefs all fall into similar. This one, she's got blue hair, so we know it's gonna be something.
They can vote, 100%. They can get paid the same for work. Yes, awesome. They can initiate divorce whenever they want. Okay. Yeah. They compete with men on every front. They can take a pill that ruins their fertility and reject their femininity. They can kill their babies whenever they want. Nope, I'm good. I'm out.
It's very funny to watch this one after the last one. Not really funny, but ironic, I suppose. Like, first of all, yes, women can vote. They're on board with that, okay. Women can compete with men. That they're starting to get a little bit iffy. Women can compete with men on all fronts they want to. I don't know if that's about like vying for similar jobs in the workforce, which is of course okay and valid, or if that's supposed to be a dig at like transgender athletes, which if it's that, that's a whole other can of worms. But personally, of course, I believe that trans athletes should be able to compete in whatever gender they identify as, because that's what they are. Trans women are women, trans men are men. That is that. I'm not sure because I haven't seen it for sure, but oftentimes people who are anti-feminists are also transphobic, which we hate to see. But anyways, I'm not sure if that's what she's getting at. But then she gets very iffy when she says women can take a pill that harms their fertility. I'm assuming she's talking about birth control, which yes, birth control does. It temporarily blocks your fertility. That is what it does. People also take it for other reasons though. I know women who take it to control their hormones for perhaps like menstrual pain or for acne. The hormones that are in birth control also, like estrogen and progesterone. It's not like anything weird and wacky. There are hormones that your body naturally produces. It's just in a greater quality. Like, is it really that different than maybe taking a melatonin pill to go to sleep? Like, it's a thing that your body produces naturally, that you're just taking a little bit more of it so that it can do something more. It's not that bad. But like the last one, that's the big one. Women have the right to kill their babies whenever they want. Obviously, this is talking about abortion. First of all, an unborn fetus is not a baby. Second of all, they gotta kill their babies whenever they want. Saying a woman can kill her baby whenever she wants makes it sound like after birth you can just, which is actually more of a conservative Republican thing if you think about it, because you believe in guns. And how many school shootings have there been in the United States? Killing alive, living children with lives, families, friends. Yeah, a few. Women get abortions for a ton of reasons. Sometimes it is simply, I am not in a position to have a child, and that's okay. Like, there are other reasons that I think are a little bit easier for an anti-feminist to grasp. For example, in the case of sexual assault that resulted in pregnancy, that is a very valid reason to not want to carry that child that belongs to your abuser. Someone does not want to be traumatized with 9 months of being pregnant with their abuser's DNA. Like, that is so very valid. Another often case is if you go to a doctor and find out that the pregnancy, if you carry it to term, could kill the mother. This is a very real situation. There are lots of cases of women who really did want that baby, but they found out that giving birth could highly likely kill them, so they instead decide to terminate the pregnancy. You think that a woman should have to carry a baby to term only to then die in childbirth herself and then leave a parentless child to then grow up without a mother, which also seems unlikely when you believe in such a harmonious family unit that you're in support of the mother just dying to give birth to her child that then will never get to live with its mother. That's devastating. All right, this one says, me taking the biggest step back when someone says feminism is good for women is literally just stepping back. You're so right. No, that's sarcastic. I feel like you can't say anything sarcastic on the internet though without someone misconstruing it as serious, so I'm afraid to even make sarcastic comments like that. So women being able to vote is not progress. Women being able to work in, management roles, not progress. Women being allowed to have the choice to work or not work, progress. I feel like I'm tired. If you don't think that being able to vote, I feel like that's just one simple but so glaringly obvious example, is that before we couldn't vote, and if we can't vote, we don't have the choices to enact these kinds of things that you agree with. Make it make sense. Being able to work, being able to earn our own money, because not every woman ends up married to a man. Some women don't want to be married or in long-term relationships at all. So being able to work and make good money and support yourself is so very important. Also, lesbians exist. She's in this patriarchal society that she has created, where a woman is supposed to stay home and cook and clean and a man is supposed to work, pay the bills. What are lesbians to do? You can't both be a stay-at-home wife. You need money somehow. Someone has to pay bills. Women need to work. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. All right, next.
Feminism convinced society that we should believe all women, but the second stay-at-home moms say, we're really happy. Feminists say, no, you're not. You're oppressed. Go get a job. Be a real woman.
Okay. No, actually. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. I was raised by a stay-at-home mom. My mom stayed at home for a lot of my childhood. My parents had kids young, and my mom ended up being a stay-at-home mom for most of my childhood and ended up not going to university and furthering her own career until her children were more grown up. And I truly am very, very grateful for my mother. I love her lots, and growing up with a stay-at-home mom was good. It was, but it's not for everyone. I have friends who grew up with working parents and had good, great childhoods as well. Both are totally valid, and that is the point. If you want to work, you should work. Daycares are not a terrible thing. If you want to have your child go to daycare, that's fine. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom though, and you want to spend every day raising your child one-on-one, that is fine. I think the misconception here is when feminists talk about the whole tradwife thing. If you're familiar with tradwives on TikTok, social media, etc., it's this idea of a woman who's stay-at-home mom. You cook, you clean, you spend every day taking care of your husband and your children, but like to an extreme. No one is saying every woman has to get a job, but we are opposed to these TikTok tradwife types imposing that the only right way to live is to be a stay-at-home mom. If you're not staying home with your kids, you are a bad mother. I feel like I see these kinds of ideas being pushed by TikTok conservatives, tradwives, anti-feminists, and that is not cool.
We are really not meant to spend those formative early years away from our kids.
If you want to stay at home, that is totally fine and okay, and you should do that. But you need to, while doing that, also accept the women that want to work and help provide for their families in that way as well, because both are valid. Both are valid. That's the whole thesis of this video. It just comes back to, you're allowed to do that. This is same with the pro-life thing. I feel like I didn't say that before, is that no one who is pro-choice is saying all women should do this, all women should have abortions. That's not real. That's not real. We support, if you would never have an abortion, would never ever see that through, that is your choice. It is totally okay. It's just about choice. That is the big word, choice. I think that's all the videos from that creator. But then I also found this one, which is a little bit different. It's this woman coming to a realization. She's saying, I don't know if I actually am a feminist. And I feel this video actually is what made me want to talk about this, because I feel like this video is the product of being fed the prior kinds of videos, is that someone is realizing, maybe I'm not a feminist, because the definition of feminist is getting misconstrued. It's a huge problem to me, because I don't think this woman is actually anti-feminist at all. I think that people on the internet have confused her or fed her untrue ideas of what feminism is.
I feel like I'm gonna piss a lot of people off by saying this, but I feel like I need to say it anyway. But I feel like some people might be feeling the same, and if not, maybe I'm crazy and maybe I'm the only one.
I don't think she's crazy. I think she's just unintentionally consumed misinformation.
Because I've made videos about this topic before, and I do not want to be somebody that anybody looks up to for this kind of information, because over the last 6 to 9 months, I started to realize
There it is.
I don't think I'm actually a
There it
feminist.
is.
And before you get mad, please just listen to what I have to say. I know that by definition, if you look up what a feminist is, it says that there's a range of beliefs. But I feel like just like with anything else in today's era, everything is so extreme. And I just started to realize
I don't
that
fully disagree
I'm not
with
a
her here.
feminist.
I get what she's
wanna
getting at.
be in my feminine. There's a difference. Wanting men to have basic respect for you is not feminism, babe. That's literally common sense and common fucking decency.
No, you're right. That's true. Wanting men to have basic respect shouldn't be feminism. That's just human common sense. Men should respect women, feminist or not. Agreed.
I know that we all want to have the same opportunities as men, but I don't want to be equal to a man, because I don't want to be a man. I'm a woman. I love being a woman.
Me too.
And realizing that I'm really not opposed to traditional gender roles. We've been doing that for thousands of years, and I'm not saying that things should never change.
I should probably finish the video first. But once again, traditional gender roles, if you want to conform to them, are fine. That's okay. The whole thing is that if you want to conform to traditional gender roles, do that, that's fine, but respect other women's choices not to. That's all.
To some degree, biologically, our hormones make it so there's a difference.
That's true. There actually is a really big biological difference that I feel like we don't talk about enough between men and women, which is the whole concept of our hormones and how men's hormones generally operate on a 24-hour cycle, whereas women's hormones generally work on a 28-day cycle. With our menstrual cycle, our hormones are different at different points of the month. Obviously, this is talking about cisgender women and cisgender men and their traditional hormones. So obviously for someone who is transgender, non-binary, on any kind of HRT these hormone cycles are likely also going to be reversed or different, but generally, yes, women's hormones are different, and so we have different energy levels throughout the month, likely based on our hormones. And honestly, if we're talking about this kind of biological difference, all of our society is actually kind of based off of a man's schedule. Everything is based off of assuming that we're going to be feeling the same every day, which is not real. I feel like feminism still has a long ways to come in terms of that. I don't know if we'll ever find a way to integrate where society is built to function around a woman's 28-ish day hormonal cycle. But you're right, there is a difference. I don't know if that's the difference you're getting into, but there is a difference.
Men are biologically hardwired to protect and provide, and women are biologically hardwired to nurture, and I'm totally fine with that. Like, babe, I'm a Cancer rising. I love taking care of people.
That's fine.
I just always had that like maternal instinct to just be the mother and the friend and the caretaker, and love being at home and making a house into a home. Like, I want to stay home and bake cookies for my husband.
And you should be allowed
Who the fuck decided that women need to work? Like, I just feel like we'll all become so androgynous as a society and lose the divinity that's within the masculine and the feminine if we're all trying to be the same. If we're trying to be equal to men, I just feel like a lot of the feminist movement then is inherently masculine. I've just spent so many years in my masculine out of sheer survival, and because we live in the patriarchy and it's built for men, and I'm not saying that I want it to stay that way. I would love for things to be geared towards women as well, but I am so over being in my masculine energy. I feel good in my feminine, and in order for you to be in your feminine, the masculine has to provide a safe space for you to do so.
Once again, it's about choice and having the opportunity to present as feminine and girly as you want. And yes, men should provide a safe space for us to do that. This shadow is really distracting me. Men and society as a whole should adjust to allow that, should adjust to allow us to feel safe. We should be able to present as feminine as we want wherever we want, yes, but also we shouldn't have to. Women who want to present more androgynous are fine too. Feminism is not about trying to push everyone to be androgynous. We're not like, okay, all the men need to wear skirts now so that they're more girly, and all the girls need to stop wearing makeup to be more masculine so that we're all more equal. But it's not that. It's not like we should all be doing these same things. It's that we should all have the opportunities to do whatever things we want. So if men want to be more feminine, that's fine. If women want to work on an oil rig, that's fine. Like, we should be able to do those things, that's all. And like, should be able to do a mix of them. I am a cisgender woman. I like to be feminine. I like my long hair. I like to wear dresses and heels and do my makeup cute sometimes. But I also love my job as an engineer. I love being a woman in STEM, and I feel like feminism gives me that opportunity. I don't know if I could have done that 50 years ago. So I'm really grateful for feminism, to have that opportunity, to have my office job where I can dress cute and do math. Is that so wrong? No. And if you want to dress cute and bake cookies for your husband, feminism should allow both of us to coexist. Let's finish this video.
I really feel like I'm not articulating this as well as I have it in my head, but I feel like some people will get the gist. And not to get like all conspiracy theorists on you guys, but I feel like this whole gender war is like a ploy to keep us more divided and separated, so men and women hate each other. You know what happens then? We have a divided society. We're all against each other. The population decreases because nobody fucking likes each other anymore, and we lose this like divine yin-yang balanced energy. Like, please don't get me wrong, like obviously I want autonomy over my body and to be sorry, my dog. The words are not forming for the thoughts that are coming into my brain right now. I really just want to be like in my soft era. Being in your masculine too much as a woman just really turns on your fight or flight. I want to be in my feminine. I'm having my Saturn return in the 9th house, which deals partially with ideologies and personal philosophies. So I'm like really breaking down like what is important to me, what are my values, and those are starting to change. So yeah, if you're feeling the same way and you've been scared to tell people, I will take the fall for you and be the guinea pig, and you're not alone.
Okay, just because you want to be in your feminine and in your soft era, like, those are valid things, but you shouldn't be like, oh, because I want to be soft and feminine, I don't believe in feminism. Because what about your friend who doesn't feel like being soft and feminine? You're gonna tell her that she should be and she needs to be? No, I don't think you are. Like, this woman genuinely seems very nice and reasonable, and I don't think that she would feel that way. So once again, feminism exists to allow you that opportunity. One other issue I do have with this video, though, is it's very, very binary. It's very, we need that yin yang. We need masculine men to care for, protect and provide for the soft women. Where do non-binary people fall into this equation? Real question. Where do gender non-conforming people fit? Because if we're saying you have to be masculine, feminine, there is a space for androgyny in our society. There is a space for someone who has both. Some people have both. You want to be masculine and feminine. That's also fine. And I feel like this, like, kind of going back to the binary really, really erases a lot of that. And I feel like we've made a lot of progress as a society in the last few years towards accepting that non-binary people actually are real. Yes, thank you. And videos like this seem to seek to go back a step, which makes me sad. Here's another similar one I found. I mean, it's a lot less long-winded. It's just a text on screen, but here's another similar video I saw. Ever notice that everything modern feminism promotes leaves women unhappy and unfulfilled? Hormone disrupting birth control, promiscuity, working at stressful 9-to-5 jobs, not getting married, or having children. Do all these things leave women unhappy and unfulfilled? Is that true? I don't think that's true. I don't feel unfulfilled because of my 9-to-5 job. Is it my everything and my whole entire identity? No, absolutely not. If it was, I probably wouldn't also be a content creator and all these things. But 9-to-5 jobs don't equal unhappy and unfulfilled. Birth control does not equal unhappy and unfulfilled. For example, someone doesn't want to have a child, and having a child can make some people unhappy. Getting married also can make people unhappy if it's not correct. If they're forced into marriage to someone they don't want, they feel obligated because of familial or religious or other pressures, that marriage may make them unhappy. I think that is something we should acknowledge, that marriage and kids are not key to happiness for every person. For some people, for lots of people, they are. I know so many people who can't wait to have children, whose wedding day, happiest day of their life. I'm so happy for those people, truly. I'm glad that they have found their path to happiness, but assuming that everyone's path to happiness is the same is just not. It's just not true. There are other paths to fulfillment. I find this really ironic, especially coming from content creators, like people who talk about, I just want to be a stay-at-home wife, and that's it. That's all I need to be fulfilled, is stay-at-home wife and mom. And then they're out here making TikToks every day to an audience of tens or hundreds of thousands of people. It's like, okay, if your marriage is the only thing you need to fulfill in your life, why are you also seeking validation through strangers on the internet? And if it's because you enjoy it and content creation makes you happy, that's okay to admit. I feel content creation can be a very fulfilling thing. I love my audience. I've been streaming on Twitch for 3 years, and it's one of the most fulfilling things that I can do. I love connecting with people in that way. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's okay to feel fulfilled through other things. I am not personally married right now, but I'm in a happy long-term relationship. And to me, I feel like the difference between us getting married and not getting married is nothing. We love, trust, care for one another. That's all there is to it. Lots of women do end up unhappy and unfulfilled. I know lots of people who work soul-sucking 9-to-5 jobs that they don't enjoy, and that is sad, and I don't want that. I don't want that for anyone, though, not just women. I don't want anyone to be stuck living in a world where they have to work a 9-to-5 job that makes them miserable just to survive. I really, truly don't want that. I think that everyone should be able to do something that makes them happy and feel fulfilled. Whether that's working, whether that's homemaking, whether that's volunteer work, content creation, whatever the heck they want. I just want every person to be able to feel fulfilled in their own way, and I know that is not the same for everybody. And that, at the end of the day, is why I am a feminist. I want people to be able to do what is right for them. There's no one size fits all, and there never will be. I want every person to do what's best for them. I want every woman, I want every man, every family to do what's best for them. Some family units might function the best with a mom that works and a dad that stays home, and that could be fine. Some women want to be single and live on their own and support themselves, and that's fine. Some people want to be content creators who don't work traditional 9-to-5 jobs but are still putting in tons of hours of work, and that's a valid thing to do. Like, there is not only one path to fulfillment. There never will be. And I think that Feminism is simply just that. It's the right to do whatever you want. And it's also about everyone. It's never about just women being equal to men. It's about everyone. Feminism helps women. Feminism helps non-binary, transgender people. It helps men. Feminism is for all. Feminism is not just women want to become men. Bruh. No. Feminism allows every person the opportunity to present however they want, to work and do what they want. And I know we still have a long ways to come. A lot of the issues too are not actually feminist issues. When you talk about, oh, women are being pressured and forced to work these 9-to-5 jobs they don't want. That's not a feminism issue. That's not women being like, girl, women, get to work.
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
That's a capitalism issue in society not allowing that, because life is so expensive that sometimes everyone has to work. Both partners don't have the choice, but both have to work. That's not a feminist issue. That's a capitalism issue, which is like, that's a whole other rabbit hole that I could get onto forever, and I've already been talking for like almost an hour, so I think I should wrap it up. But TLDR, feminism is about choice. A lot of these women on TikTok are criticizing an idea of feminism that is not true feminism, and I think it is important for those of us who do believe in true feminism, equality, and choice to put our voices out there and challenge these kinds of ideas so that more people don't fall for them unknowingly, and that we can just better ourselves as a society, as a people, as women. We gotta look out for each other. We gotta care about each other, okay? That's all. I love you all. I love you much. Thank you so much for watching this video and sticking with me. If you made it this far, I freaking appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Someone is getting out of their car right in front of me. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. I really appreciate you, and I will hopefully catch you in the next one. All right. Goodbye.